So I kind of went there because I did want to ask you, how has this year just shifted your relationship to spirituality, and what does that mean now versus before? Is there a difference for you?
I've learned that spirituality is like an integrated part of my daily moment to moment life.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
I don't go days or weeks without forgetting that I am a part of the universe, part of God, the spirit, all the things. Like, I don't forget. I may go a couple of hours,
Right.
um, but to see how integrated it is and that it doesn't take as much effort as it used to,
Hmm.
um, is incredible, and it softens everything. And it's helping me trust so much more. Like the other thing, I'm walking with death, but I'm also walking with trust, which means if I embrace death, I can be in trust. But to me right now, trust feels like it's like the oxygen I'm breathing. I'm in a place where I have no choice but to trust because I
Right.
can't be in control in that way. Yes, I can do the practical things that support myself, but trust is a lifeline, you know? Um,
Mhm.
And then the relationship to spirit has made me understand that, and we've talked about this, how magical we truly are. And I forget. I have moments throughout the day. I may go days without being able to, I don't forget my relationship to spirit, but I can forget how magical I am. But
Mhm.
I'm integrating that more and more. And I think right now I'm forgetting it a little because I'm going through an incredibly stressful time. And
Right.
I'm walking with trust and I've seen magical things happen. But as I'm packing up my whole house and my family and like moving to a different country, you know, I don't feel so sparkly all the time.
That's a
But
lot.
it's there. But it's
Yeah,
there. The foundation for it's there. So
for sure.
yeah.
And
What
can
about
I ask
you?
what
Oh,
so I just want to ask, what does remembering how magical you are, like, what does that mean? What does that look like for you in practice?
well, in order, and they do this in movies all the time, in order for you to get in touch with your magic, you have to get in touch with your feelings. You have to be in your heart. If you watch any Harry Potter, any like fun show about witches or, anything like fantasy, there's always, they're alluding to you have to feel it. You have to feel
Mhm.
magic. So you
Mhm.
can't think your way through magic.
Mhm.
So I get to my magic when I'm in my heart
Mhm.
and when I'm in my feelings, and when I'm caring for my heart, that's when I feel the most magical.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the potential that arises from being in my heart. So when I tend to my heart, I tend to the grief, I tend to the fear, I tend to the anger, the sadness, or whatever's there. And sometimes just joy and excitement. When I tend to those things and I acknowledge them, then like that magic is just waiting to be engaged with. It's like that creative potential that's just resonating or vibrating there. It's like I just imagine as this sparkly essence. It's just like
Mhm.
here I am underneath all this shit that your mind has like bogged me down with.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Does
Yeah.
that answer your question?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I
What
mean,
about you?
I think one of the things that I've realized, especially like with the reclaiming of the word God, and how that lands in my heart and my soul. One of the things I've been doing this year is walking a lot. I
Mhm.
feel like that's become my meditation. The times that I go for a walk is my meditation time. And so in conversation with God, one of the things that has come up is like absolute surrender
Mhm.
of everything. Because one of the things I realized, right, is so much of my life has been built on who I thought I needed to be okay in the world.
Mhm.
So, like, certain dreams or aspirations or something, we're still, influenced by that in some way, shape, or form. I think that there is still some genuine magic in there, that I think that there's still some part of my heart and soul in there. But what I've done is I've surrendered the outcome of my life, truly. Because it does, again, it's been a process of death and rebirth. And in rebirth, it's like, I don't know.
Mhm.
So the magic has been in like the practice of surrender. And by the way, surrender is a practice.
Oh, yes.
Surrender is a daily practice. And some days it's a moment to moment practice. And some days, depending on the day, you don't want to fucking surrender. So you don't have to, right? And then you try again later. I
Yes.
just want to name that because I think we hear the word surrender and just let it all go. And it's so easy. No, it's not. It's not. But to have a connection to source in that way, you need to have a connection to source. You need to have a connection to your heart to say, I'm going to let I'm going to let the outcome of everything go,
Mhm.
and I'm going to rest in the knowing that I'm always guided, protected, supported, and provided for.
Mhm.
And that's to me like the way that I've experienced magic this year.
Mhm.
And what I realized is magic, blessings, God has always been working for me, but I just didn't see it or had the rumor or had the spaciousness to feel safe enough to just be, right?
Yeah.
That's not to say we don't show up. That's not to say we don't do. It's just to say, I am so tired of trying to figure it out.
Yes.
I am so tired of being afraid. I am so tired of feeling unsafe. I am so tired of all of these things that I was taught to be, in addition to being taught that I could be myself, Jesus. And I'm just tired. I'm like, no. I let it, I really let it all go. What that looks like, what that feels like in your heart is you just have to, I don't know. I can't explain it. I think it's such a spiritual experience that you have to practice
To
and you have
relinquish control of
exactly.
the outcome is what you're
Yeah.
saying. Like
Yeah.
leaving room for expected and unexpected ways.
hmm And to trust that no matter where you are guided and taken, that that's exactly where you're meant to be.
Mhm.
And I genuinely believe that now because I genuinely believe that I am unconditionally loved by the universe, by God. Like
Mhm.
there was something about recognizing and seeing myself as separate from my family and the role that I played that made room and space for to seeing myself in the way that I think God, the universe has always wanted me to see myself as.
Yes.
It makes me so emotional. I mean,
What a journey, though. What a reclaiming.
yeah, because what I've realized is, oh, this is who we all are. This is who we all are. This is how spirit wants all of us to see ourselves as, to recognize ourselves as.
Mm.
And so to realize to realize how important that is I recognize, oh, there's nothing more important in my life than this understanding. And this understanding is going to guide how I do my work.
Yes.
It's different. It's different.
Mm. And when you surrender it, to me, it looks like there's a softening of your relationship to life, a softening of relationship to self, softening.
hmm
And trust and surrender are like two sides of the same coin. You can't have one without the other.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So that to me is magic.
Mhm.
That to me is magic in action.
Oh my God, it so is. It so
Yeah.
is. And it's so interesting what you said about there's magic always happening. And then when we get to that place where we know that we are loved, where we have a relationship to ourself and understand our potential and our relationship to the universe, that magic multiplies.
hmm
It's just
hmm
magnified.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so powerful and it's just life changing.
It is.
Mm.
I know that I'm not the same person.
Mm-mm.
I know that I am not the same person. And from this moment on, I will continue to evolve and grow as this new version of Mildred, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like. But the difference now, I think, is I allow myself to grow from the space of where my heart wants me to grow from.
Mhm.
Again, that's a daily practice
Yes.
because we live in a world that is distracting, that is telling us that something outside of us is better, that we should be anywhere but where we are in the present moment. So I say this because I have these I have this profound understanding. I've had these profound experiences and I'm still human.
We
So
are designed to forget very
exactly.
quickly.
Very quickly. Very quickly. And so, what I've noticed also, this is so many of my habits and in the way that I live my daily life has also changed very naturally, too. Like with that identity, so many habits also died. Thank God. I'm so, sometimes we try to change our habits. Like we tried to like set alarms for things or do a to-do list. And at least that's the way that I was working. And it's like, no, it's not about that. It's something deeper,
Mm.
you know? So, yeah.
Well, and having this understanding, like having this relationship to life in this different way, what I've come to understand, like embracing death, embracing our divinity, all these things, letting go of what people think or like, or all this stuff. And going back to compassion, like I have so much tolerance for other people now,
Mhm.
because I understand they're just on their own path and journey. And it takes the pressure off needing to be in relationship or needing for things to stay the same or needing people to meet you where you are. It's just like, you can't meet me where we are. Okay. That's your journey. This is mine.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to mean so much. I don't have so much anger or resentment or um
Mm.
like fuck you in me. I'm just like, oh, we're just you went that way and I went this way. And it's okay. You're gonna you might react this way. I feel this way. It's okay, you know?
Right. That I think 2024 was a year where so many relationships changed
Mm.
and ruptured or pivoted or, just in general. This is why. Like there's something hopefully like this is the lesson that more people like land on. It's like, no, nobody is bad or good or it's not about that. It's about the understanding that we are all on different journeys, different timelines, and it is so important to recognize our journey,
Yeah.
our path, so that we honor it, but we also don't intrude on someone else's. They need to go through what they need to go through the same way we've needed to go through what we've needed to go through.
Yes.
And there's no hierarchy, there is no better or worse, there is none of that. It's just where we each are. And so the higher expression of Libra energy is that.
Mm.
It is that, right? Because Libra is ruled by Venus. It is ruled by the goddess of love, the goddess of
Mm.
balance and harmony and peace, right? So in Libra, ruled by the scales, can we find some balance and harmony? But by just accepting. But I don't think we can reach that until we accept ourselves and who we are and all of the stuff that we go through. It takes doing the things that Libra energy doesn't naturally like to do, which is to confront,
Mm. Relationship.
right? And if we think of the astrology of it, the sign opposite of Libra is Aries, where the North Node has been, and that has
Uh,
been the lesson.
mm.
How do you choose yourself? How do you choose yourself? How do you confront the things you need to confront to allow yourself to choose yourself, even if you're not chosen by others,
Wow.
right? And all of these things sound good, and we can all say, "Yeah, I don't want to do that anymore," and yeah, this is who I am. But the death and rebirth process is real,
Yeah.
and it does feel like death, and you do grieve, and you do feel sad, and you do question yourself, and you go through all of the things until you're able to come back to yourself again and again and again and again.
Yes. I have nothing to add to that because that validation of the real lived experience is so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell to be updated on new videos.
Click the video on screen to watch more episodes.